Long, long ago, in the land of Kangli Park in Manipur, there lived a Ningthou and a Laima. They were loved dearly by the people. The Ningthou and Laima, on their part, never stopped thinking about their Miyam, their people. Our Miyam should be happy, they said. The people were not the only ones who loved their Ningthou and Laima. The birds and animals too loved them. The Ningthou and Laima always said, everybody in Kangli Park should live in peace. Not only the people, but the birds, animals, and trees. Their beloved king and queen had 3 sons, Sanajoba, Sanayama, and Sanatomba. 12 years later, a daughter was born. She was named Sanatombi. She was a lovely child, soft and beautiful inside. She was loved by one and all. The years went by and the children grew up well. And then one day the Ningthou called all his ministers and said, "It is now time to decide the Tungi Ningthou, the future king." The ministers were shocked. But O Ningthou, what is there to decide? Sanajoba, your eldest son, will be our future king. Well, the Ningthou replied, "That's how it happened in the old days. The eldest son always became the king. But times have changed, so let us select a king who is most worthy of becoming a king. We will have a contest to select the future king." The Laima said, and so in the land of Kangli Park, there was a contest, a horse race. Whoever reached the Kongnang, the banyan tree, first would be declared Tungi Ningthou. But then a strange thing happened. Sanajoba, Sanayama, and Sanatomba, all 3 of them finished the race together. They were expert riders and all 3 reached the finish line at the same time. There was great excitement. Look at them, the people shouted. Shagol Toba Nupa, such fine horsemen. But one question remained. Who would be the Tungi Ningthou? The Ningthou and Laima turned to their sons. The Ningthou said, "Sanajoba, Sanayama, and Sanatomba, you have proved that you are fine horsemen. Do something different, each one of you, so that we can decide who will be Tungi Ningthou." Suddenly, Sanajoba mounted his horse and held his spear straight in front of him. He looked around. There was a hush among people. What is Sanajoba, the eldest son, going to do? They thought to themselves. Sanajoba then looked at the huge Kongnang standing majestically in the distance. He pierced the tree and jumped his horse right through it. "Bravo, bravo," the people shouted. "Thuro, thuro," and then they fell silent. Now it was the turn of second son, Sanayama. What would he do? Sanayama too looked at the Kongnang as he mounted his horse. Then he too rode towards the tree harder and harder. The people watched in silence, afraid even to breathe. When he was really close, he urged his horse to jump. Higher and higher, the horse rose until horse and rider jumped clear over the huge tree and landed on the other side in a wonderful motion. The people breathed in relief and said in unison, "Fajai, Fajai, wonderful, wonderful." And now it was the turn of the youngest son, Sanatomba. He too rode his horse towards the Kongnang, and before anybody knew what was happening, uprooted it. Triumphantly he carried the tree to the Ningthou and Lima and laid it at their feet. Shouts of Thuro, Thuro, Fajai, Fajai filled the mountains. The people grew restless. Why were the Ningthou and Lima taking so long to make the announcement? They craned their necks to see what was happening. The Ningthou and Lima were watching Sanatombi, their 5-year-old daughter. She looked sad and lonely. She stared at the Kongnang which lay dead by the throne. Birds flapped worriedly around, searching for their homes in the tree. Sanatombi walked up to the Kongnang and whispered, "The Kongnang is dead. It was hurt by the spear and now it is dead." The people were all attention. The Ningthou stood up. He looked at the 3 boys. He looked at the little girl. He turned to the people. "If anybody is worthy of becoming the ruler," he said, "it is little Sanatombi. It was she who told us to look at the soul of the Kongnang. Sanatombi feels the pain of others. She feels the pain of the people, the animals, the birds, the trees. I declare Sanatombi the future Lama of Ganglipak." The Ningthou said. A silence fell. Everyone turned to look at the little girl, their future queen. There she stood, all of 5, like a small Kongnang. Birds flying all around her. They sat on her shoulders and on her head. She held out her hands full of grain, and the birds flapped about her, pecking at the food. A Lama is one who doesn't hurt anybody in the kingdom. तो एक कहानी है, एक जगह है मणिपुर में, केंगलीपाक, वहाँ की। वहाँ एक राजा और एक रानी रहते थे जिनको मणिपुरी भाषा में बोलते हैं निंगथाउ एंड लेमा। उनके 3 बेटे थे जिनका नाम था सानाजोबा, सानायमा एंड सानातोम्बा। और 12 साल के बाद में उनकी एक बेटी हुई जिसका नाम था सानातोम्बी। तो राजा जो है वो बूढ़ा हो गया और एक दिन उसने अपने मंत्रियों को, मिनिस्टर्स को बुलाया और कहा कि अब ये वक्त आ गया कि हमें एक फ्यूचर के लिए भावी राजा जो है उसका चुनाव कर लेना चाहिए। सभी मंत्री जो है वो शौक हो गए, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा कि इसमें डिसाइड करने की कौन सी बात है, आपका जो बड़ा बेटा है, जो पहले समय में भी ऐसा ही होता था, वो ही हमारा फ्यूचर किंग होगा। लेकिन तब रानी ने कहा कि हम एक कॉन्टेस्ट रखेंगे, एक घुड़दौड़ रखेंगे और उसमें जो फर्स्ट आएगा उसी को हम राजा घोषित कर देंगे, मतलब जो योग्य होगा उसी को राजा बनाएंगे। तो दौड़ होती है, उनमें तीनों जो हैं वो बराबर दौड़ लगाते हैं और सेम टाइम पे वहाँ पे पहुँचते हैं, तो उनके लिए डिसाइड करना मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो राजा बोलता है कुछ डिफरेंट करके आप हमें दिखाइए। तो सबसे बड़ा बेटा जो है सानाजोबा, वो दौड़ के जाता है उस बरगद के पेड़ के पास में, खोंगनांग यानी बरगद है, तो बरगद के पेड़ के पास जाता है और भाले से उसमें छेद कर देता है और उसके अंदर से घोड़े को निकाल देता है। दूसरा बेटा जो है सानायमा, वो रेस करके जाता है और उस पेड़ के ऊपर से जंप मारता है। और तीसरा बेटा जो है सानातोम्बा, वो उस पेड़ को ही उखाड़ के और राजा के चरणों में रख देता है। अब लोग सोच रहे हैं कि इतना इंतजार क्यों करवा रहे हैं राजा, अब तो इनको राजा घोषित कर देना चाहिए। लेकिन तभी जो है राजा और रानी अपनी बेटी, 5 साल की जो बेटी है सानातोम्बी, उसकी ओर देख रहे हैं और वो फील कर रही है, उन जो पक्षी हैं वो उड़ रहे हैं उस बरगद के पेड़ के ऊपर, अपना घर ढूंढ रहे हैं और बरगद के पेड़ की भी आत्मा को वो फील कर रही है कि वो कैसे वहाँ पे डेड पड़ा है। तो राजा और रानी ये कहते हैं कि अगर राजा बनने के लायक कोई है, क्वीन बनने के लायक कोई है, तो वो है सानातोम्बी, क्योंकि यह पेड़ों का, पक्षियों का, पशुओं का, यहाँ तक कि आदमियों का, सबका दर्द महसूस कर सकती है। इसलिए अगर योग्य है कोई राजा बनने के लायक केंगलीपाक का, तो वो ये है सानातोम्बी। और सारे लोग जो हैं सानातोम्बी को खड़े होकर देखते हैं और क्या देख रहे हैं कि वो अपने हाथ फैला के दाने लेके खड़ी है और पक्षी उसके आसपास मंडरा रहे हैं, उसके सर पे बैठे हैं, उसके कंधों पे बैठे हैं और दाना चुग रहे हैं। तो ये कहानी है। थैंक यू सो मच। मैं हूँ शेषराज। इस कहानी के साथ जो 5th क्लास का लास्ट चैप्टर है जिसका नाम है हु विल बी निंगथाओ, यानी राजा कौन बनेगा। यहाँ पे ये कहानी है, मणिपुरी भाषा की ये कहानी है, मणिपुर की कहानी है। थैंक यू सो मच।